You're watching The Appreciationist. My name is Peter Hartman.
And I'm Samantha Barley.
And we're talking about funny memories tonight. That's what a guitar sounds like when it's out of tune and missing a string. Anyway, so tonight we're going to have a fun time talking about funny memories. Pretty simple conversation here. But before we get to that, I want to say, well, hello to my friend, to our co-host and producer, Samantha Barley.
Hello.
Look, the first segment we start off with is called What I Learned This Week. And that's where I tell you what I learned this week. So what did I learn this week? Well, lots of things. Something was kind of jarring I learned about recently. It's an author. His name is Edward Conard, A-R-D. He wrote a book called The Upside of Inequality. The Upside of Inequality. And because I'm working on the event called Temptations, Leaving Room for Evil, coming up in October, I kind of like the title of this book, The Upside to Inequality. It sounds so wrong. Doesn't it sound wrong to you, Sam?
Yeah,
it sounds like a...
But it also sounds like something the Appreciationist would say.
It definitely does. I put the lights up, but I can hear the tape coming apart. I think it's
That'll be great. That'll be great. It'll be funny.
Yeah, so the upside of inequality. Well, look, basically what he was saying is that America has the most, is one of the most unequal countries among not developing countries, but the developed countries.
I thought you were going to say the devil countries.
The devil countries? You have all the Satan countries. I guess we got to include ourselves in there. It has a lot of inequality. I mean, they were the proponents, they were the creators of the middle class back in the day, but that has all but disappeared now, and you have very rich and very poor. Now, the upside to that is that the United States has an overwhelming amount of successful entrepreneurs compared to other countries, and because of that, we create innovation. We have bigger enterprises, more jobs, and so the upside of inequality is to have the most entrepreneurs, the most successful entrepreneurs able to do great things. And I don't know if that's enough. He's certainly not making the case to keep things unequal, and he's not saying that because things are unequal that the people who are poor should be screwed or shafted, but what he is saying is that there is an upside to pay attention to, and I kind of like that. I'm the type of person who I like to see the upside of the dark side. That sounds like a song, you know. I should write a song called The Upside of the Dark Side. And I just thought it was really cool. So what I learned this week is that inequality has its advantages too. And if you were at the top of the pyramid, you probably feel the same way. It looks great from up here. My God, look at the view. It's so amazing. Unequal, yeah, of course it's unequal. Mountains are unequal. But anyway, that's what I learned this week. Let's move on to the most important thing we do during the show, which is called a moment of appreciation. And that's where we look back at the past 7 days and we pick out something that we appreciated. It could be something good that happened that's easy to appreciate, or it could be something that wasn't so great, but that we can see the value in today. Can you say that by heart yet, Sam? Have I said it enough?
Probably.
I
don't feel like it right now, but...
Well, no, I'm not going to challenge you to do it now. Of course not.
Of course
not. So, a moment of appreciation. Would you like to go first, Sam, or would you like me to go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. Well, look, I have 2 moments of appreciation, and unlike other weeks, these ones have nothing to do with me, but my experience of somebody else's progress, and I really enjoy that. So the first thing I want to tell you is that I'm really happy that Elise, one of our members in our group, started her own meetup, and she's creating her own video for that meetup. And I look, Sam and I, we know how nerve-wracking it is to create videos, right, Sam?
Yep.
You were just doing it outside just a moment ago. It ain't. For a second, I thought you were saying you almost threw up, but
what?
Well, I mean, sometimes I remember doing videos and I'd be sweating and just want to throw up. I'd be like, oh my God, this is so horrible. And especially seeing yourself afterwards. But it was really cool to see Melissa on there, and she did a great job. She didn't look nervous at all. She's one of those lucky people, I guess, who can keep the nervousness on the inside. Sam, you can do that too, right? You keep the nervousness on the inside, nobody can tell.
Yeah, most of the time, I think so, yeah. I didn't realize that. I thought I looked nervous. But then I saw the videos and I was like, oh, yeah, all right. I'm all right.
As long as we don't shake your hand, I don't think anybody knows you're nervous. Me, on the other hand, I just the sweat. It's pretty crazy. I actually have some old videos of me on YouTube singing back in the day, of me just breaking down in nervousness and not being able to continue the songs. And it might be cool to release that for fun, maybe to our patrons.
Yes, yes, it would be fun.
Yeah. Yes, it would be fun. Sam had fun watching those videos. I think she was the only one. Yeah, so that was really cool. But also Tom, my brother Tom, he's a comedian. He went to Ottawa this Sunday to perform comedy, and he got there. There was like at least 100 people in the audience, and he killed. He was probably one of the funniest, if not the funniest comedian there. He got some really great praise, not only from the audience, but from the comedians and the club runner. And so I was really happy. I was nervous for him. You know, you're going on the road, going somewhere else, and you know, I didn't know how he would take it if he didn't do well, but he did do well, and he took it very, very good, and it was fun to share in his joy. And so that's sort of my moment of appreciation, sharing in the joys and the progress of others.
Very nice. And
thank you.
Say his full name so people can look him up soon.
His name is Tom Hartman. His name is Tom Hartman. It is Tom Hartman, Hartman. You can check him out on Facebook. We're going to have a website coming up soon called And the Rest of Us, but stay tuned for that podcast. It's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, Tom Hartman.
I mean, if you're going to plug anybody, it's got to be your twin brother, right?
Come on, it kind of helps me, right? What's cool for me is that people will stop me on the street, you know, and they'll think that I'm that's a funny memory. They'll think that I'm Tom, right? And no,
you can like be quiet and say it later.
Okay, fine.
All right, there we go. All right, so
you better have a really good moment of appreciation for interrupting me there. Yours is probably really awesome, right? No pressure, no pressure.
But I love you, so I'm allowed to interrupt you, right? Okay, so my moment of appreciation, yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. It's this weekend. This past weekend, I went camping with my meetup members. With Self-Discovery Montreal, I planned a meetup around an event that was already happening at a place in Wentworth, which is like an hour north of Montreal in the country. Beautiful countryside. It's called The Shire. And so I planned a meetup around that. I did a happiness discussion, an appreciation walk. We pitched our tents. I'm smiling because it like poured all night, but like we stayed mostly dry. But it was beautiful. A lot of the other time we went bathing. We went swimming in the river. We went, we roasted marshmallows, campfires, community music, live music, wonderful musicians. The person who owns the place is Alan Reed. You can even look him up. You'll find some music of his. Jam sessions like all night. I mean, we didn't stay up all night, but jam sessions. My goodness, I can just go on and on, but we had a really, really, really nice time. The people there were wonderful. I would say there were about 50 people or so. And just like potlucks and people talking about travels, all sorts of different types of people, but very kind and welcoming and warm. And the people that I was with, I think we were about 5 or 6 that ended up coming from the meetup. Not everybody slept over, but we bonded, we got closer to each other. We had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys looked like you had fun when I saw you afterwards. It sounded like a cool time, and you know you had fun when it pours all night, and you can still say, "I have a smile on my face," and I enjoyed it.
Well, it was great because we had a decision to make the day that we arrived. Saturday, we were like almost 100% sure that it was going to rain, and so we like talked about it. I was like, "Okay, so what do you think, guys? Like, do we leave tonight, or do we like tough it out?" And we like weighed the pros and the cons, and we were all like, "Let's do it! You know, let's do it!" And so, like we did it, and we still got to have the outdoor stuff, which was great. At one point, somebody was dancing in the rain, one of our members. There was Ariel Shirker, hypnotist there. She was doing a hypnosis show. I have pictures of her like under umbrellas doing her hypnosis show. And then it was like thunderstorms, but it was like, just the whole experience was so great. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And do you have pictures for that?
Yeah, I do. I'll be putting them online soon.
So you put
I'll put most of them on Facebook, Samantha Barley Life Coach, and some on Meetup. Yeah.
Excellent. Really, really cool. Well, it looked like a beautiful space. It was a great idea for you to go up there.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. It's another moment of appreciation, sharing the joys of others. I know you were looking forward to that.
Yep.
And you got that in at the tail end of summer. So that's
yep.
Really cool.
Exactly. It was great. Awesome. Oh, we saw a little deer too. Little baby, little Bambi. Yeah.
Bambi?
Oh, we called it Bambi. I think it was Alfredo that said, "Oh, Bambi."
I think everybody from our generation and older just calls all deers Bambis, like, from now on. I wonder if there's a modern equivalent. Nemo, I guess, is the other one. Excellent. Look, that's a great moment of appreciation. If you have a moment of appreciation, like to send that in, we will read it on the air. You can send it to just go to theappreciationist.com and contact us through there, or you can check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/theappreciationist. Look, next segment. What a great idea. Why do I sound so hostile?
And just so you know, like, if ever I seem distracted, it's because I'm like checking to see, is anybody trying to get in? So like, you were like being hostile, and I was like,
I'm doing the thing, so no worries. I feel like I'm showing too much. I'm showing too much hairy chest business. I don't think that's really great. I don't think Jimmy Fallon shows as much hair as I do. Look, what a great idea. This week is actually a Chrome extension. So if you don't know what Chrome is, it's a browser. It's like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome. That's the favorite one that I use. They have really cool add-ons that you can add on. Just so you know, before I tell you what a great idea, there are tons of add-ons for Chrome that you can use. Well, add-ons for all kinds of things, for Firefox as well. But you can use add-ons to really help your life, to make things easier. One of my favorite add-ons right now is called Grammarly, Grammarly. Grammarly. It's a free Chrome add-on, and what it does is that it checks your writing. Now, I thought autocorrect was helping me out with my spelling and my my grammar, but when I installed this Grammarly thing, I realized all the mistakes that I was making. And if you want to seem more professional as you're contacting clients or bosses or anything like that, if you have any trouble in English and you really want to polish, make sure that there's no mistakes or very little mistakes in what you're writing, check out Grammarly. It's really, really cool. Even if you're a native English speaker like Sam, you could really benefit from it. You know, some people have atrocious grammar. It won't help your speaking, Sam, but it will help your
funny guy.
But it will help your grammar. It's helped me.
You don't know how to spell Grammarly, you know.
You can rewind the tape and check it out, but yeah, Grammarly is really cool. I didn't realize all the mistakes I do, and I really love language. I really love to write things correctly, and you can go check it out. You can find it at Grammarly, GRAMMARLY.com. You can add it on to Chrome. If you don't have Chrome, you can just download Chrome. That's also free, fast, and lovely. Look. No, that's funny. No, that's real funny. It's a great intro. It's a great intro for our next segment. For this segment, the topic of our show.
Unfunny you are.
Look, there's a difference between being not funny and other people not having a sense of humor. So you have to sort of like find where you are in that mix. I won't. There we go. Look, today we're talking about funny memories. It's a furtherless topic, but I think it's really fun to mine our experience for the joys that it can give us. I mean, so many people use their memories to feel down or regretful, but I like to use my memories, little that I do have, for joy, for pleasure, for really reminding myself about how good life is. So I'm trying to come up with some funny memories that I've had growing up. I had a few. Some of them involve Sam, so I won't tell you. But I did have. Okay, so I had this one moment. If you will permit me to go first, Sam. No. Okay, Sam will go first. I think she's talking for good. So it's a simple, funny memory of the time where I realized that I really wouldn't do anything for my brother. Like that was the realization that this memory caused me. Okay, you know, I die for him. You know, but okay. So one day he comes home. It's like a Tuesday night. It's like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, maybe later than that. it had been drizzling outside, raining outside. He comes to the front door, banging on it. He's drunk. He's absolutely drunk, out of his mind. So he opens up the door. He's like stumbling into the house, banging on all the walls, hurting himself. And he comes in. I literally have to hold his body up, like drag him into the hallway. I'm heading towards his bedroom, and he just collapses. He like bangs against the wall and then collapses on the ground. I mean, I never heard somebody hit themselves so hard. It was pretty bad. So he's lying prostrate on the ground, and I decided, okay, I'm going to help him out. I'm going to undress him, and I'll take him to his bed. All right. So I get down to his body, and I'm taking off his pants, and I feel like he's like damp, you know, he's like a little wet, and it had been raining. So as I'm pulling off his pants, I realize it's not wet because of the rain. It's wet because he's peed himself. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? No, I won't do anything for you. You can just lie down there in your soaking wet pants. And so he woke up the next morning. He had thrown up. And so he wakes up covered in pee, covered in vomit. Oops, I shouldn't move so much. Covered in vomit, and it was hilarious. I think if you drink too much, you sort of get what you deserve in terms of like that type of stuff. So I just had a very pleasant laugh as he sort of wiped up the whole place with vomit and like cleaned himself up. And then he kept saying like he had this huge bruise and he just hurting on his side. And he didn't know why, and I had to explain that he dropped to the ground. So that was a fun time. That was a funny memory for me.
That's a horrible, horrible story, yeah?
No judgment. No judgment.
All right. I'm judging inside.
Look, and there was the other thing I wanted to say about Tom. You know, people, they mistake Tom for me all the time on the street, especially when they don't know, when they haven't met both of us, when they don't know that the other one exists. Are my lights still on? They don't look so bright over there. Yeah, so... I'll get stopped on the street and people will think I'm Tom. And after a while, you know, it gets really, you know, you say, oh, no, I'm not Tom. And they go, what? And they think you're joking. And you say, no, I'm his twin brother. And they're like, oh, my God. Are you kidding me? And just so like after 100 times of that, you kind of get bored of it. And so just in order to not like be stuck on the street, answering questions, a million questions to people you don't know, who are just marveled by how the resemblance. I just started pretending that I was Tom. I just answer questions as if I was Tom. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing real well. Hey, it's good to see you. I just pretend that I knew them and how well that I knew them. They asked me how this was going, how that was going, and I just like fudged the answers. And I got really good at giving non-specific, specific answers to questions. And one of the reasons I want to plug Tom is because the more famous he gets, hey, I'll be mistaken for a famous guy in the street, and that won't be bad. That'll bring the pleasure back to the situation. I'll probably walk around with a name tag that says Tom on it, and have people ask me questions, learn all of his jokes by heart, and just tell them to people on the street. So, yeah, that's not exactly that part's not a funny memory, but that's why I wanted to say that people mistake me on the street, and I'm hoping that in the future it will get even better. Anyway, as my funny memories, I'm sure I can dig around for more. While Sam says hers, I'll think.
Yeah, well, they say mine.
You never had anything funny happen to you? No, you sit down for a while and you think, so we're making the law of attraction cards, right? And one of the cards is going to be a funny memory. And I know a lot of people are going to be stuck like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, has nothing funny ever happened?
I have one in my mind, but it's not like...
appropriate?
Well, no. Okay, so I'll tell it. So appropriate. So when I was younger, I used to have tons of animals all over the house. I used to have a little budgie bird called PJ who would sit on our finger, and he'd walk around and do all things like that. And one time I was sitting with my sister at my cottage, and I was like on my back or something, and PJ was like walking on my face, and she's like, wouldn't it be funny if he pooed in your face or something like that? And he did. He pooed right in my eye, and I have it on video. My sister was recently moving, and we found it, and it's just the funniest thing. Like right when she says it, boop, he poos right in my eye, and I'm like, oh my God, and I just move it, and then I'm fine. Like,
how old are you when this happened?
I don't know, 10 or so. Yeah.
what you just said was really funny. It reminded me of what we did just the other day with the birds. Did we say that on air yet? The bird story, catching the bird?
Yeah. Yeah, I told it as my moment of appreciation last week.
I see. Okay, cool. Well, look, it's a really funny exercise. It's a fun exercise to say, to sit down and think about past things that would have happened to you that you find funny, or even just mildly interesting, because you're really giving yourself medicine, right, Sam? When you allow yourself to feel a laughter, fun, joy, you release oxytocin in your body, some level of dopamine, and it feels good. And I find it interesting that people don't really regularly mind their experiences for the good stuff, for the things that give them pleasure. I mean, if you ask people about bad memories, about things that didn't go well, I bet you like it would be never ending. Like people will just have a mountain of them. But when you think about the funny things in your life, not only does it make you feel better, but it recontextualizes your experience. You realize life was not just a series of bad moments punctuated by moments of pleasure. It was really, there was a lot of good stuff, you know, and maybe you have to go back as far as your childhood, but sometimes you could go back as far as last week and you can find something that was interesting. You know, I used to get lost all the time when I went driving. I had to go somewhere 15 minutes away from my house and I would get lost 2 hours away. You know, I'd be outside of Montreal. The signs would be English all of a sudden. And I'd be like, oh my God, maybe I should turn around. And I was the type of person who never liked to look at maps. You know, I was like, I'll figure it out. But what I realized was that my figuring it out was always wrong. Like I almost always went the wrong way. And then I started just, whatever my impulse was, I started doing the opposite of that. And then I started working out. I started finding my way home. And so silly things like that just remind me about life. One day, so I guess this is the last one I'll say because we're running out of time here, but I went to, I hope I haven't said this before, but it probably has been a while. I went to a church gathering, my mother's church. We went to Oxford Park, National Park, and we had a picnic, and it was a lot of fun and swimming in the lake and all that stuff. So as we were coming home, my mother decides, Sam?
Orchard? No, Orford.
Orford, sorry, I said Oxford. Yeah, Orford National Park. And so my mother drove, and I decided I was going to drive her car back. She was going to be on the bus with the church people. So I'm driving back with my brother. And as we're driving on the highway, heading back, going 100 kilometers an hour, I don't know how many that's in miles, 80 miles per hour, something like that. I realized that I have no brakes. The brakes on the car are gone. I mean, nothing. I'm slamming it, and it's not even slowing down. And I'm freaking out. All the cars are going fast around me. It's very busy. It's a Sunday evening, so people are coming back into the city. They're rushing to get back home. Tons of traffic, and I have no brakes. And I talk to Tom, and I say, Tom, there are no brakes. He's like, what? Huh? What? Actually, he took it a lot calmer. He was like, what, really? Like, I was like, you're really not panicking. I guess because I wasn't panicking. Like, my first impulse was like, this is hilarious. And so I'm slowing. I'm just like now driving on my own momentum. I'm not pressing the gas. The car's slowing down. And the traffic behind me is just piling up. People are freaking out. They're getting upset. So I haven't stopped completely. And I have to like cross over a lane to go over into a ditch, like cross off the highway. And this is a part of the highway where there's no sort of offside to it. There's no lane to the left where a gravelly road. It's like literally into a ditch. So I pull over quickly and we slow down. And here we are sitting in the car sideways like this. And like I mentioned, it's Sunday, it's late, we want to get home. And I think myself, well, I could call AAA, which is the car service, and they'll come and get us. But it'll probably take a couple of hours for them to come get us. I mean, they have to fight the traffic in order to get to us. So I turned to Tom and I say, you know, what are we going to do here? And Tom's like, I don't know. What do you think we should do? And I said, let's just drive home without brakes. Let's just drive back into town without brakes. And so that's what I did. I get back onto the road. And I started driving, and my handbrake is like barely working. Like there's almost nothing to it, so I couldn't even use that. I used it a little bit as much as I could, but it wasn't really doing anything to stop the car. So I'm driving, and I'm driving so slowly, right? I'm going, I'm really upsetting people. Like there's a whole space in front of me. Traffic is on both sides. Look who's doing this.
Okay. Hi.
Are you watching, or are you participating?
I guess I'm so late. I don't know at which stage you guys are.
Well, we're right near the end, but hello.
Sorry. Hi.
Don't. this is not about sorry. We don't need any sorries. I'm glad to see the corner of your face here in the dark, so it's pretty cool. But let me just finish my story, and then I'll get to you. So I'm driving into town. I have no brakes. I'm having the time of my life. I mean, I feel like I'm in a movie or something. And I get home. We get to our meeting spot at the mall near the house, and as soon as I stop the car, and my mom comes out, and my mom gets into the car, the brakes are working again. The brakes are working again. I mean, nothing was wrong. To this day,
every time I hear that story, I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh, it was so funny. I felt so brave. It was a stupid thing to do, but honestly, you know,
you should. But
it taught me a lot about myself. So it was really cool. Hey, Beidi.
Hey. Hi.
Hi. Well, look, it's the end of our show right now. We're about to tell you what's coming up on the calendar, but I'm glad you popped in, Beidi.
Okay. Well, sorry, because I wanted to participate, but I worked until now.
Hey, look, you came in when you could, and that's all I can ask for. I really appreciate it. We're just going to let people know what's coming up on the show, and we're going to wrap things up. But thanks so much.
And what's for dinner as well.
Yeah, that's right. So first of all, what's coming up on our calendar? Sam, you want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first. I have it open. So this is Self-Discovery Montreal. You can go to samanthabarley.com and follow the links to my events, or just look on Meetup for Self-Discovery. So tomorrow I have Get Inspired to Change Your Life, group life coaching. It's full right now, but you never know. Sometimes people can change last minute. And then Tuesday, September 20th, I have How to Deal with Difficult People, group life coaching. And so since we're talking about laughter and funny memories, September 24th, I have Get Silly About Your Life, Laughter Play Shop that I'm doing with Wendy Singer. So that's laughter yoga. You guys can come out and have fun in the park with us.
That's really cool, and from all that I've heard, people really, really love that. So definitely come out if you're in the Montreal area. This Saturday, the 17th, Valerie Soule has a meetup called Raising Your Vibration, the Power Behind Words. So that's a workshop with Val. It's $10. It's really, really cool. September 17th, that's at 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. in downtown Montreal. I was going to say something about, please check out her website, thepoweroфemotions.ca, thepoweroфemotions.ca, to find out all about Valerie Soule. And we also have an event coming up, a discussion coming up with Elvira Limzanova, and that's going to be next Saturday, the 24th, the willpower, how to reach goals. And then we also have Kin. We're doing sushi again. We had a really fun time doing sushi, but Sam couldn't be there, so we're going to be doing it again. Sushi, downtown Montreal, a sushi buffet. It's going to be the 25th of September. It's called King Grow Together. So come out, eat, have a fun time, meet people, bond, connect, and all that good stuff. And just so you know, we have an event coming up. I'm going to be mentioning it a lot, but it's going to be at the end of October, the 22nd. It's called Temptations, Leaving Room for Evil. Yeah, so that's going to be our Halloween event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look, what's for dinner? Okay, what did you eat in the last 7 days? Beidi can answer this, I guess, as well. What did you eat in the last 7 days that you enjoyed, that you appreciated? It doesn't have to be something special. It can just be something that you liked eating. I had homemade apple pie. I mean, I've been eating a lot of apple pie.
Oh yeah, how was the homemade apple pie?
It was very cool. It was very different. I mean, they used apples that stayed firm and also apples that sort of liquefied. So you had this sort of like pureed mixed with stuff and a lemony taste to it. It was really cool. I'm told they're going to make one whole just for me, so I'm really looking forward to that. That was really tasty.
Was it as good as mine?
No. I mean,
as
come on.
As your mom's? I guess not.
No, the crust really what makes that one really good. So not as good as that one, but it was very, very delicious. Sam, yes, Beidi, do you have what did you eat for dinner? What's for dinner?
I had a lot of vegetables. I'm trying to lose some weight, so I try not to eat too much meat-only stuff. So I bought a lot of vegetable from Asian grocery store.
Almond, mango, cake.
And that was something that he bought yesterday. It was a cake. That was very nice too. And on the weekend, I went to my friends and had dinner with her. We cooked together. We used to cook together a lot more, but she's having a second baby now. she's 1 week from her delivery, so she's like, well, let's just do another cook together. So we made winter melon together. That was nice.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, and if you're gonna have a baby, if you're gonna have kids, have two. You know, I hear they raise them, they take care of each other at a certain age. So that's really cool. Really fun stuff to eat there. Sam, what'd you eat in the last 7 days that you enjoyed, or what?
So mine would be the picture that I showed you last night. Last night, my whole meal was everything that I grew except the quinoa. So I wrote it down. I sent it to my parents. I sent it to Peter. I was so proud of it. So there was kale, Swiss chard, arugula, eggplant, jalapenos, shishito peppers, beets, purple peppers. And so I was just like in love with my meal. It just feels like amazing when you grow organic vegetables yourself and you get to cook them up the way you like. And yeah, I just felt so great. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Here's the picture of it.
Oh yeah.
All that came from a garden that you tended, or what's the deal?
Yeah, that's right. It came from the garden. Yeah, all of that came from the garden at Loyola campus that I grew. Yeah.
That's really cool. You know, the closer we can get to our food, I think the more we can appreciate it. So,
oh, yeah.
Really cool there. Excellent. Look, that's it for us. We got through another show. Tune in next week for another exciting episode of
The Appreciationist.
The Appreciationist. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming, Beidi.
My pleasure. I miss you guys.
Miss you.
Bye.